The Steve Dangle Podcast with your hosts, Steve Dangle and Adam Wilde.
Gentlemen, can I play for you before we get into the actual hockey news? Pokemon Go in real life, the theme song?
Yes!
All right.
I want to be the best that ever was. To beat all the rest, yeah, that's my cause.
Rat-a-tat, PG, rat-a-tat, PG, PG, rat-a-tat. PG, rat-a-tat, rat-a-tat, PG, rat-a-tat.
Keeps going.
Oh, I wonder what he's going to say.
I wonder too.
I need to know.
PG, rat-a-tat, 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 Weedle, rat-a-tat, rat-a-tat, PG, rat-a-tat, 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 rat-a-tat.
All right. If you don't play, by the way, you're one of the 20 people in the world who don't play.
And Jesse. And Jesse.
Oh, and Jesse. Yeah, but he'll cave.
Yeah,
is there any doubt in this room?
I don't need it in my life. I just stopped playing Chell so much because I played Chell too much.
Jesse's really good at Chell, by the way.
I'm too competitive for something like this. If I see, Steve's this score, I will spend the next 3 weeks trying to get better than you.
Well, I
can't do it.
Almost at a 12 there, Jesse,
and
so I can't wait to see how you catch up.
Yeah, I'm at, I leveled up to 11 today, and I'm genuinely like, I actually later on in the show, I did some research, because I know everybody's playing it. I'm going to tell you how to level up properly, how to do this properly. Like, okay, I'm going to make your Pokemon Pokédex, your Pokemon career be like the Toronto Maple Leafs and how they're building a winner. You want to build a winner? I have the actual way to build a winner, the quickest way and the smartest way.
It's the great thing about this phenomenon, because it is, by the way, we're a hockey show and we will get to hockey. Shut up. I was explaining it to people and there isn't too much of a logical reason to hate it, the game. And I've walked 27 kilometers this week.
Yeah, I walked 17. I just checked it.
I would never do that.
No, your dog doesn't even want to walk with you anymore.
No, I did the most adult, childish thing ever the other day. I could see he was getting hot and tired, so I brought my dog home, left him in the house, and kept walking. I had to catch them all. I left him in the cool house with his water, and I kept walking.
Well, and I think that's fair. I mean, Steve had a barbecue last weekend at his house, and your invite's in the mail, by the way, just so you know. Yeah, but Jesse, for the first time, made it out to Oshawa. Before Jesse got there, we went out looking for beer because we didn't bring enough, and we basically spent the entire time catching rat-a-tats because that's all we had.
Rat-a-tat.
Weedle.
I like that he threw in a weedle.
It's true. And then it ended up taking a lot longer than it should have, and the LCBO was closed anyway.
Tell us how much Pokemon Go sucks in Oshawa.
Oh, it's awful. There's like one Pokestop within 10 or 15 minutes walk of my house. I was standing in one spot, like on the way here to the show downtown. I was standing in one spot. I was touching two at the same time.
Yeah. You've never had 2 or 3 pop up before?
No! How isn't everyone downtown at least a level 30?
Seriously. Well, here's the thing, too. I have a gym right across the street from me, perpendicular. So at my apartment, it's an intersection. I'm right on the corner of an intersection. The apartment across the way has a gym in it, and from my living room, I can fight in this gym.
That's the whole purpose of the game.
So last night,
Pokemon don't go is what Adam plays. Pokemon stay.
And I have 2 more on my block. So the best part about it though is I was walking home last night because I went outside to move my car, and the gym fell as I'm on the app. So literally the gym goes, there's 3 colors. There's red, there's yellow.
Yes.
And then is there blue?
Yes.
Yeah. So
you don't know. Stop it.
It went from red.
Stop it, Adam.
Red to gray.
And what does that mean?
That means that it is unclaimed. And that means that anybody can jump in there. So I clicked on the gym and I dropped my Pokemon, and they're my Hypno, who's my best one right now, because there's Drowsies everywhere. downtown. So I evolved one of them and made it into a hypno. And I had it sit in the gym for an hour. And what happens is that people will come along and they'll fight you. And as long as they don't fight their way through the gym, you get experience points.
So you're the gym master.
I am, but I was the third rung of it because
The leader, Jesse.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I was the gym leader for about 10 minutes, and then some other person came in with a Polywhirl that was triple as good as my hypno was.
So can you just go to any gym and be like, hey, I'm going to overthrow this gym?
You can if your Pokemon are good enough.
Nice.
What?
So I put one in there.
I hate that I understood every word of that you just said. Every single word of it.
Well, the best part
I
was
hooked.
I went back and fought myself. So then you can go back and fight yourself.
Someone has a Polywhirl that strong? That's crazy. Why wouldn't they level it up?
Well, yeah, because there's the Poliwag, which is all nice and sweet, but the Polywhirl's got like Muhammad Ali boxing gloves, and it's got the typical cartoon I mean business look, which means the eyebrows are slanted in.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it's the angry eyebrow cartoon look. So I went in and then I fought myself and kept losing to myself, but I got a whole bunch of prestige and XP points for losing to myself.
You shouldn't be able to.
Yeah, that sounds a little.
That's how it works. Now,
How far into the show are we? Out of
5
curiosity.
minutes? 5 minutes.
That's okay.
5 minutes. That's all right.
That's okay.
I'm just saying.
Hey, if you're listening on the radio,
Are we even on the radio?
what's up? Oh, we're fully on the radio.
on a Thursday. Because we're not supposed to be.
Oh,
during
well,
the
if
summer.
we're not... Oh, did I
Let's
contact...
see. So we
So wait.
just might be able to say,
Are we on the
whatever
radio?
we want. I don't know. Steve?
Let's maybe find that out.
Let's find that out before we just start going. Now let's play Pokemon Go.
All right.
Let's talk about this bleeping cloister on the way here that took like 15 Pokeballs to catch and 2 raspberries.
Yeah,
Pokemon love raspberries. Why did I
do.
need to give him 2?
they do. Let's actually talk.
One final question.
Oh yeah, sure, please.
Have either of you paid for anything on the app?
I have not.
I have.
I knew it.
Dude, there's no Pokestops where I live, so there's no resources. So the only way to get stuff is to level up, and it's hard to
judge
level
him?
up because
You know what? I don't, because I've been to Oshawa with my Pokemon Go app, and there's literally it's a
There's
wasteland. I mean, it's like being in Oshawa. There's nothing there.
hey,
So in downtown Toronto, where everything's happening, like this morning, for instance, like Steve, I don't know what you catch in Ottawa besides like rattatas, but this morning I caught a
Rattatas.
first of all, Rattata.
Thank you.
I caught a Clefairy. I
I have one of those too.
I hatched a Growlithe.
I don't have one of
By the
those.
way, I am going to write a 16,000 word essay online because that's what everybody does these days. That's what the cool kids
No,
do.
they're not essays. They're think pieces.
Ah, yes.
Get it right.
I hate that term so deeply and bitterly.
So here's my think piece, and I need to come up.
Everything should be a think piece. Well, you don't think when you write. Sorry, go ahead.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to write a think piece, and we need to come up with a title for this. So I need your help on this one, okay?
Will your think piece also be a listicle?
Well, I think it's only fair that it have a list in it. Therefore, it makes it a listicle, right? And ultimately, I mean, it's you could call it an essay, but really, it's more of a when you get your master's. What's it called?
A thingsticle.
It's a thingsticle.
No, a thesis?
A thesis. It's more of a thesis on the factual inaccuracy of Pokemon Go. Because quite honestly,
Tell us about how this
Factual
game
inaccuracy.
can we talk about the
George
fact
Carlin wants to choke you.
that,
okay, no,
that
go ahead.
the Poke mammals hatch out of eggs? Can we talk about that?
They are alien creatures from space.
They
Adam.
are.
They don't abide by Earth rules.
Okay.
They don't have to.
I'm just saying, I think it's a little bit strange that my Growlithe came out of an egg. He's not a lizard. He's a cat. Dog thing, we think.
He is a dog.
He's a flaming dog. Like
Yeah.
Iggy, just a flaming dog.
Are we going to talk
He
about?
looks like a Growlithe.
He does look like a Growlithe.
Okay.
He's
Are
he's
we
big
going
and
to talk
poofy.
about how you're trapping animals in a caged
And then
ball?
fighting them.
And then making them fight
Now,
each other.
Steve actually
Michael Vick's over here.
Steve actually saw a guy tweet that it was encouraging animal fighting. Now, what was the response to that tweet? Because quite honestly,
We
all of us-
are on the radio portion.
okay, no. Well, I mean, you can bleep. You can use your own bleep.
Okay, fine. Like, whenever someone tweets something very ridiculous like that, there are very ridiculous people who are like, yeah, man, totally, you go. Like and favorite. quote tweet, and all they say is this.
Oh!
No,
this.
Wait. This.
Period.
This so much. This so hard.
Or so much
One
yes.
more time for the people in the back.
So much yes.
So much yes. Hands up. But everyone literally just
Or
went,
the praying sign. The
oh,
praying
yes.
sign.
Oh, yes. And everyone
Bless.
unanimously just went, oh, beep off! Get out of here! I'm trying to become the very best, like no one ever was.
It's true. I think anybody that actually thinks that would have to be worried about literally an entire generation of the entire world being animal fighters, because all of us are smart enough to differentiate between real animal fighting and Pokemon, where it's Pokemon.
What's the name of that brain, the bad guy, the brain that the Ninja Turtles have to fight? What's his name again?
Oh God,
But he is a brain.
Yes.
Right? Why do the Ninja Turtles promote head trauma? I would like to know,
Concussions.
why do they promote
Krang.
brain injuries? And furthermore,
Is it Krang?
that one.
What a
Why do
bad
they try
name.
to harm Krang? And why does Krang try to harm animals?
It's a good question. What
is he trying to do that for?
Why are these turtles trying to go after a poor defenseless rat and rhino?
I want to know
Massive
that.
rat and rhino.
Why is the rat disenfranchised and living in the sewer?
Right?
I want to know.
What were the socioeconomic conditions that created that? I mean, it's clearly, these, I think all of the turtles probably came from middle class families. And they probably, had a real leg up where these, where Shredder and the rhino guy, whatever his name was, they probably didn't have the same opportunities.
I think here's what probably happened. They had this really great career, okay, as a player coming up in the U.S. development program for hockey.
Right, okay.
And instead of playing junior or staying in the U.S. development program, they decided to go to Switzerland.
Whoa.
And they're so highly touted, and they end up being the first overall pick. And then the evil Lou Krang-Orello wouldn't give them their schedule A, B, or C signing bonuses or some crap like that.
Maybe
and now they're poor and living in the sewer.
Maybe I was wrong by saying that we can differentiate between what is fact and what is fiction, right? Maybe I was wrong, because Steve just tied that in beautifully. I just want to say congratulations, hats off to that.
So was that
that was great. That was a bit of a stretch, but it was still great. I still give it to you. The other thing is, I think the point of that is that we know what a video game is, and we know what real life is, and let's not take video games and criticize real life with them, can we?
Never.
No.
All right.
According to PS4, I scored 60 goals last year.
That's pretty sick.
Right.
Just saying.
Well, I can't wait till you get your non-bonus-laden contract. So the holdup, apparently, nobody actually knows this, but the holdup with the Toronto Maple Leafs right now is evidently that Auston Matthews and Lou Lamoriello, or Auston Matthews representatives, and the Lou Lamoriello-led group of representatives who represent the Toronto Maple Leafs can't come to a deal, because Auston Matthews camp justifiably wants signing bonuses and justifiably wants performance bonuses, and Lou Lamoriello's like, no, 1950s. So that's basically the long and the short of this. Lou Lamoriello has a history of this. Adam Larson, who is now an Edmonton Oiler,
Yes.
is an example of this.
Yes.
He would not sign Adam Larson to a contract that had bonuses, and Adam Larson basically, I guess, capitulated in that situation. And then Lou Lamoriello said, well, at least he understands that he's a man of the room, and he's a part of the room, and the room. Now, what I don't understand about this, Stephen, help me out. If this is the case, we don't know that it is. If this is the case, has Auston Matthews' performance throughout his entire life and Switzerland not justified these bonuses? Lou says, by Lou's logic, you're talking about...
By Lou's alleged logic.
It would be...
Or previous logic.
It would be folly to give this to a rookie, because it makes them seem like they're more important than the other rookies. But this is a guy... This is not a typical guy. He's played professional hockey before.
But the beauty of Lou Lamoriello, our information on his stances on this is 4 years old. That is
True.
the beauty of Lou Lamoriello. It's 4 years and a lockout old.
So it's purely speculative.
Yep. I mean, I don't know Kevin McGrann's sources for exactly. So he's the guy from the Toronto Star who wrote this Matthews thing. He was kind of one of the first, I would say, mainstream sources to actually be like, so yeah, this is an actual issue. The bonuses. He's the first overall pick. Like, some of the people Lou has done this to in the past, or other teams have done this to in the past, were 4 or 5, or there were a few picks down the line, highly touted prospects, but still not quite the top tier guy. It's a first overall pick. How can you give him less than what Patrick Laine got with the Winnipeg Jets for going second, which, by the way, was not the maximum he could get?
Well, and that's the thing, is I look at this. If this is what Lou Lamoriello says, okay, if this is how Lou Lamoriello wants to play things.
Let's say.
Okay, if I'm Auston Matthews people, I'm going, okay, Lou, but you gave how much to Kovalchuk? You gave how much to Ryan Clough? You know,
But
like,
it's all different.
But,
those are established veterans in this league.
and Ryan Clough did he not end up? Yeah, I don't think he even scored a goal.
That I don't know. Well, injuries sideline him. I think he's the assistant coach or something now.
But the point is, I think that and I know the Leafs are still trying to sort out their cap situation, and I know that they're tight, and we got to get to the Bernier deal, because I think there's something that a lot of people aren't talking about, that it ties into Lupul.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of situations there that might be a better deal than you think it is. At least in my opinion. Steve probably disagrees.
We will discuss.
I think the Leafs, chances are they have an idea of what they want to sign Auston Matthews to. In fact, I'm sure they know exactly how they want to sign him. And I'm sure Auston Matthews camp knows this and knows what they want. Where Auston Matthews camp holds the cards on this one, if our speculation is correct and Lou's being tough on the bonuses, is that this team needs Auston Matthews more than Auston Matthews needs this team.
He's the cornerstone of the rebuild. 100% period. Yep. Like, it's not Marner. It's not Nylander. Those are fantastic players. They're not Matthews.
And is it worth it? Listen, this is a business, and I think that any player in camp is going to understand why Auston Matthews comes in with all the high-end bonuses. They're men. They're going to understand that. And why, when I look at what happened with PK Subban in Montreal, why are you lowballing a guy now when you know later on there's a thing called the Goodwill Bank? And you can disagree with me on whether or not that actually exists, but I happen to have a feeling that these negotiations spill over into the personal lives of these players. And these players have long memories and they don't forget it. So when Auston Matthews is up in 3 years, because they'll sign him. When Auston Matthews is up in 3 years, Auston Matthews is not going to go bridge deal with you, Toronto Maple Leafs.
I like to tell young professionals, and a lot of people might disagree with this, never hold a grudge, but always keep the receipts. Always keep them. And Auston Matthews, if he deserves his money, will get it. You want to pay him now or later? You want to pay him now, or when Nylander is up and Marner is up, and go down the list.
And the KHL, Russia.
I don't believe that's actually
the Russian ruble may not be great right now, but I'm sure you can find some Russian billionaire who owns a hockey team over there who give him whatever he wants.
Yeah, well, we saved all this money not having to go to the Olympics.
Here you go.
Austin, we'll give you all the money we would have given our track and field team.
One reason we shouldn't be concerned at all. 3 of the other picks in the top 10 haven't signed.
Yeah, Ulovi, I think, with Vancouver.
Keller, and Yost.
Clayton Keller. And by the way, so is that the Pension Plan Puppets article you have? Who was that? What was her name again?
Katie Anapper? Anappy?
I wasn't sure how to say her last name either. I would Nappe. We're sorry. Katie, yes, if we screwed up
If we say your last name wrong, it's not out of disrespect, it's out of ignorance, we apologize.
Yes. Can I please see that list? Because she put together a lot of nifty things in this article.
There's a lot there. That must have taken weeks.
It is thick. It is very thick. But you should read it if you want to understand more.
4 of the top 10 haven't signed. Why are we
4 of the top 10 haven't signed, but look at the ones who have signed, okay? Laine, Pierre-Luc Dubois, Jesse Puljujarvi, Matthew Tkachuk, Alex Nylander, and Mikhail Sergachev. And Sergachev was 9th, so he's the latest pick signed. All of those guys have bonuses. All of them. They're not the max, but like Sergachev, Alex Nylander, and Matthew Tkachuk all have $850,000 in bonuses. Which I've only read the article once.
It's not so much about him getting bonuses. It's about how many achievable bonuses he'll get. Like, is one of the bonuses going to be, hey, you'll get $1 million if you win the Hart Trophy? is he going to get that Schedule B bonus? And then you can write that off because you probably think he's not going to win the Hart Trophy. So if you write that off, then that's an extra $1 million you save off the cap.
It's all.
So that's probably what they're negotiating, which achievable bonuses they want to give him. Because they say, hey, score 40 points, be this much plus minus, play this many minutes.
Please don't base it on plus minus. Please, God.
When I read that,
it's so dumb.
I couldn't believe that.
Awful. It's awful. So yeah, it's how many achievable Schedule A bonuses they want to give him. Do they want to give him a max of 2.5
And really,
million?
you need a North American in there because ice follies. Right, Don Cherry? Exactly.
Yeah, but he's not a Canadian, though. So it's
Yeah. Wow.
It's like you wanted ice cream, and they just give you vanilla ice cream, which is fine because it's ice cream. But did you want vanilla ice cream?
No, you wanted
your favorite flavor of ice cream, which is cotton candy, if you're correct.
No. If you're correct, it's chocolate with something chocolate.
What is wrong with Steve?
I don't know.
Cotton candy ice cream is delicious.
Who enjoys cotton candy?
My
Maybe what I was
opinion
for.
on candy is well documented that pink sugary things are all delicious. Pink is the best flavor of sugar.
What?
We have established this.
Did one of those Roman candles connect?
Yes, they did.
What
Also,
happened?
cotton candy comes in blue sometimes, and that is delicious also. You guys are both incorrect.
Anyways.
I don't know what to say. I can't even. Let's not even go there.
Anyway.
The fact is, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Here's what I think. A lot of people are saying this is probably Lou being tough. Lou's always going to be tough, so that's a foregone conclusion. Here's what I think. The Toronto Maple Leafs have a real situation on their hand when it comes to the cap.
Yes.
Okay? This is a real problem. And because last year we were like, we're going to fire all these veterans off. It's going to be no big deal. And we're going to have cash. All this cash. We're going to have cash. Come on and get our cash. The problem is that they traded Dion Phaneuf's cash and took on Milan Mahalik and Colin Greening and Jared Cowan.
Who is not gone, technically.
Who is not bought out. Jared Cowan is not bought out, and they have missed that window. They don't get that $650,000. Do not pass go.
Honestly,
because he's injured.
When it comes to the Leafs, and Lamoriello really does add to this, I never say the Leafs will or won't have something happen or get something until it's done.
Yep. I think that's fair.
Could very well get that cap credit. You know why? Because voodoo.
Sure.
Because of just how it works.
But as we know,
it's a very elementary way of putting it.
As reporter Chris Johnson, I always have to call him reporter Chris Johnson. I could just call him Chris Johnson.
That's his full name.
Reporter, who's by the way having the best European vacation right now. If you follow him on Instagram, reported on this very show, Joffrey Lupul's ready to go and play. Now, that ties into the Bernier stuff, and we'll get to that in just a second. But I want to tell you that again, Joffrey Lupul's at $5.25 million.
Against the cap for how many more years?
2 more years. Him and Van Riemsdyk are due up in the 2018-19 season. Now, if Joffrey Lupul wants to come in and play, I have seen a hero chart that probably puts him at best a third line winger at best. That's a lot of money for a third line winger. Now, that's better than I would have thought considering all the injuries he's had. But Ryan Fancy, at Ryan Fancy on Twitter, put out a GIF of a Sportsnet roll of all the injuries Joffrey Lupul has sustained since 2007. And it starts, the best part about it is it starts with the flu. But then it goes through and then it rolls through all of these injuries and the list just keeps going. It's amazing that it could fit it in a GIF. Truly.
Well, what were some of them?
Broken hand. Broken foot. I believe he had either back surgery or there's a serious back issue there as well. I mean,
put this up?
Ryan Fancy.
Right.
The back is the only thing I would say is potentially reoccurring, right? Because he had the surgery.
There's other things
Broken
in there.
foot. Wasn't there some crazy mystery behind that?
I think he slipped at practice or something. It was the hand. Everybody thought he broke his hand punching Dion Phaneuf. Because of the Alicia Cuthbert alleged thing, which never happened, by the way. And you break your hand. You broke your hand. That's all it is.
And that thing that made it onto TV.
Oh, terrible. What a terrible situation that was. I think when it comes to Auston Matthews, the Joffrey Lupul situation is what's holding this up. Because if you also look...
it's one of the things.
One of the things, because Marincin and Corrado are also not re-signed.
And they're going to arbitration. Connor Carrick has not signed yet, and I bet he makes the team out of camp.
And let us not forget that Phil Kessel and Tim Gleason are both owed together something like $2.5 million, and that comes off the cap.
Tim Gleason!
And that's Tim Gleason gets paid this year and next year.
What?
That's what's happened. That's the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Dave Nonis sucked. Holy smokes, was he terrible? God!
Dave Nonis is terrible. And that's why you have
a job.
And that's why you have a guy like Garrett Sparks, who, from what we deduced, not necessarily what we heard, but from some rumored reports of third-hand news, that maybe they weren't as high on Garrett Sparks as they were on Bibeau, but they go and they re-sign him because they may not be able to afford to get an NHL backup for next year. You got to look at this contract. I mean,
Lamoriello said they're going to get another goalie by camp.
The projected cap space is $3.5 million. That's Matthews, Corrado, Marincin, and a goalie.
And the LeafsNation.com wrote something about how in arbitration they would expect, I think it was, I'm sure they'll correct me if I'm wrong, Holland would get something, because Peter Holland is also not signed yet.
Yes.
Would get something like 1.5 to 2.
I'm harboring under the assumption that Peter Holland gets dealt. I don't think he's
still around.
I don't think he's going to.
And then to go back to Matthews, if you sign him to the bonuses, that's $2 million floating in the air.
Right. Well, and potentially as much as like 3.
Now, that's
a little bit more.
We got to take into account the Nathan Horton cap situation and the Stefan Robidoux cap situation, which gives them about, I think, is it $8 million in credit or something like that together?
Something along those lines. This is
all Dave Nonis' fault, by the way.
I tweeted this the other day. Yes, the NHL needs a salary cap. It doesn't make enough money to not have it. How on earth do you explain this to a casual fan? How do I explain this to my dad? How do I explain this to anyone who's not in like the top 5% of hockey fans?
I don't think you have to.
Yeah.
I don't think you have to. I mean, because the top...
Why don't the Leafs have a backup goalie yet? Well, they can't afford it. But they're the Leafs. Well, they don't have the cap room.
Does the cap room
then that's as far as it goes. That's as far as it goes.
Yeah.
They don't have the cap room.
Oh, so like, do they have to trade someone? Well, they might have the cap room.
Yeah.
Well, they do or they don't. Well, because guy's an injured reserve. No, you do have to go down the rabbit hole a bit.
Here's how most people look at hockey. And these are people who call themselves ardent Leaf fans.
Yes.
This is the one question they ask. Are the Leafs winning? No, they're not. Let me make all my crappy jokes online about it.
Will they be better next year? Yeah, I do expect them to be better. Oh, good.
That's it.
How about this Freddie Anderson guy? I think he'll be pretty good.
Not everybody is us. Not everybody is us. And like, I know this when I go on breakfast television and people will take pot shots at the Leafs and I'll go, but wait a second. Don't you see how great the development is? Have you ever heard of William Nylander? Have you ever heard of Mitch Marner?
Do you even know how they got Nikita Soshnikov?
And you just see the glaze like a donut, just glazed over. And they're like, what?
All
and it's
people
not
know is those 40 years.
Yeah, and they know. Most people only know what's in front of them. Maybe you're becoming a really good chef, but right now your cooking's not great. Most people will go, well, that's nice that your cooking could get better, but I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at what the meal you're feeding me right now. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And by the way, I think that was a pretty good Adam Wild comparison.
That was great.
Thank you.
I loved it.
I just want to say that. So don't worry about that. Also, I'm just saying a luxury cap tax situation with a hard cap at the end of it would solve a lot of those problems, Steve.
But
no. It's a terrible idea. It's a terrible idea.
Why is that?
It's a terrible idea. Let's not even go there because it's terrible. We do need to take a break on the Steve Dangle podcast. We're going to talk a little bit more about Lupul, about the Bernier deal, and of course a little bit more from around the league, including a somewhat puzzling, and I don't think anybody's drawing narrative to this as much, Brassard Zibanejad deal.
Kind of out of nowhere.
A
little bit.
Kind of surprising. And we'll get to that. And also, USA Hockey, still crazy. They're still crazy.
We'll discuss.
Now, if you've been paying attention the last week or so, and you can be forgiven if you haven't, Jonathan Bernier was traded.
Yes.
What?
And I believe, was there not a second round pick in there somewhere?
Now here we go.
So the Jonathan Bernier trade, this is where it gets fun. And Steve was just talking about this before the break, that this deal is exactly why you can't explain trades to hockey fans anymore, because it's freaking impossible to understand.
Absolutely.
I'm really having trouble with this one, so can you walk us through it?
And there have been so many people, like smart people, who know better. They know what they're talking about, literally just lying to their followers and themselves. And what I've been reading is so frustrating. Well, the Leafs basically traded Bernier for Frederik Andersen. No, the blood clot, they didn't. What? Oh, I'm sorry. The first round pick and the second round pick the Leafs gave up to get Frederik Andersen in the first place. It's nothing. It's nothing. It doesn't count. It doesn't count, guys. It's for free. For freezies. Here, it was the 30th pick. It's practically give that away. And the second is basically a third. It's like you're
they'll
giving
get the
away
first
nothing.
overall pick for Roman Polak anyway, right?
Probably. What are you talking about? So best case scenario, by the way, so we talked about how reporter Chris Johnson. Got to say the full name.
It's fair.
3 names. He broke this while on his European vacation, that there are 4 conditions on the pick the Leafs got for Jonathan Bernier. It is a conditional pick, but in all likelihood, the Leafs will never see that pick. Best case scenario, it turns into a second, I believe, but all the conditions are based on playoff performance, Bernier playing a certain amount of games in the playoffs, and the Ducks making the Stanley Cup final. Which, I mean, even if you're the Cup favorite, like, that's still a long shot. If you had a conditional pick with the Penguins right now to make the Stanley Cup final, there's still one team out of 30.
And we were questioning whether or not they'd even make the playoffs.
Yes!
Like, for a good chunk of the season.
Thank you, Jesse. So, if Bernier does not win the Cup, this is according to General Manager's Twitter page, if Bernier does not win the Cup, the Leafs-Ducks trades could likely end as to Toronto, Frederik Andersen.
Sorry, who was that?
My mouth betrayed me there. To Toronto, Frederik Andersen.
It's a tough name.
Full stop. Frederik Andersen. That's the end. To Anaheim, Jonathan Bernier. The 2016 Pittsburgh first, 30th overall, and the 2017 Ottawa second.
Okay.
So the Leafs do not get Frederik Andersen for Jonathan Bernier. They get Frederik Andersen for Jonathan Bernier, a first and a second. It's not a complicated trade. It's just straight up. No, it's not.
It's not.
A Zibanejad for Brassard, straight up.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
We'll get to that.
One team got a second. The other team did not. They got a seventh.
So the thing that makes
Several hundred picks difference.
the thing that makes me laugh in this is I mean, here's the thing. Most of the trades where you have to make a lopsided deal like that, come because the previous management, at least especially in Leafs case, had to be cleaned up after. But unfortunately, that Bernier contract was a party that the Leafs threw and had to clean up themselves after.
Yes.
They did
was
not
a Lou Lamoriello deal.
They did not have to sign him to 2 years.
No.
They did not have to sign him to $4 million. He was a restricted free agent. This was not something they had to do, and they had Reimer under contract.
Yeah,
I
didn't think it was a terrible bet, but
it was. I mean, even at the time, I remember being like, "This is uncomfortable. That's a lot of money."
But if they give him 1 year, he probably gets 5.
Fine,
something.
give him 5.
Well, we know that now.
I'd have given him 5 last year and been like, "Okay, prove it, prove me deal."
Yeah.
I mean, they did it to Kadri. Why couldn't they have done it with Bernier? Prove it to me. And that's the thing, is that, you know, the deals like this, they end up hurting you. So, is it a lopsided trade? Yes, I believe it is a lopsided trade because of that first. You know, you
30th overall.
Yeah, that 30th overall pick to me, makes it slightly lopsided. However, they had to move Bernier, and they found a taker for Bernier.
And this is the frustrating thing.
And they got a goalie.
The Leafs pay actual money to Bernier for his signing bonus that kicked in, I think, July 1st. They pay him actual money. And because they did that, the Ducks assume his full cap hit, which is a combination. Someone's cap hit is 99% of the time a combination of real money and fantasy make-believe money.
That has already been paid.
Yeah, so
it's
the
like
Ducks,
credit.
This isn't the exact number, but
It's $2.15 million. They're paying him an actual salary this season.
right. So $2.15 million in actual cash dollars. But 4.15 and fantasy make-believe Pokemon Kanto money that you can use to buy, you can use to re-sign Hampus Lindholm or get some Great Balls because, or Pokeballs.
I would actually prefer an Ultra Ball because I'm so
An
tired of
Ultra Ball.
Spiro. Freaking Spiro. I'm
Right?
level 11. Screw off, Spiro. You're not breaking out anymore.
Maybe there's a rare Pokemon and you're running out of raspberries, you know? Now try to explain. No, okay, so here, casual fans, what actually happened was, the Leafs gave Jonathan Bernier a bunch of money, and then after they gave him a bunch of money, they immediately traded him, but the cap hit stayed the same. What nonsense is this?
It's a tough deal. I still think this deal is lopsided because they made a mistake last summer in re-signing Bernier to the term that they did.
Adam, it was straight up.
It was lopsided.
Just ignore
However,
it.
I still
the
think
bad
it's
deal.
intelligent.
Did you know that
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
No.
They got to pay for the bad deal in the loss.
You have to pay for bad deals. You pay for bad deals.
The Phil Kessel trade to Toronto, the Boston-Toronto trade, was to Toronto, Phil Kessel. To Boston, nothing. Did you know that?
Well, I mean, really, it's
nothing.
just...
It's because draft picks are nothing. They're nothing. They don't count. Yes, Adam? You're giving me a look. Calm down.
I'm with you. No.
Calm down.
You're almost PK Subban fired up right now. And Subban was legitimate.
I'm a predator! Have you seen that video on Instagram?
Yes.
It's so sad. You don't want to see that at all, and we shouldn't be seeing it.
We'll get to that. Andrew Berkshire's coming to town tonight, by the way.
Andrew Berkshire's coming to town.
He's angry about Weber and the Subban trade. They didn't have to trade that guy, but the trade was made.
That's pretty good.
I tried.
Not bad.
I tried to freestyle
I was
Christmas
hoping
Carol, okay?
I was hoping for Bergevin to be worked in there somewhere, but you know.
We'll work on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the Leafs, I think it was an intelligent deal to make up for the fact that Bernier was a not intelligent contract to sign.
I'm not saying it's
And they still got Freddie Anderson, who, if Freddie Anderson is 15th overall in the league in every stat this year,
if he's average.
I am great with that. Fan-freaking-tastic. Be average. Sir, I can't wait for your mediocrity to come to town.
Be the most average you can be.
Mediocrity's coming to town. And now, I don't think that Freddie Anderson is a mediocre goalie. I actually think he does have a little bit of upside. And even though the numbers don't fully support me on that one, I think that he actually could be better this year than last. And so here's the thing. I reached out to Jeffler and I said, can we talk a little bit about Freddie Anderson and the Anaheim Ducks last year? And he said, sure. And I said, do you have any charts on how he did after they stopped sucking? Because I think that's probably more indicative of the Anaheim Ducks team that we thought. Now, Jeff sent me a bunch of stuff, and this was before I went on vacation, and I tried to read it. And God bless him, because he put it all together, and it was beautiful, wrapped it up in a bow, and I have no idea what I'm looking at. So,
Yeah,
You
and
wasted his time.
I wasted Jeff's time.
he's hit a stride though. I think he's writing some really good
Oh,
stuff.
he's
But
amazing.
The funny part is, if I remember correctly, while the Ducks were bad, Anderson was fantastic. He would allow like 2 goals a game, maybe.
It's just they couldn't score.
And they would lose 2-1. Or he would allow 1 goal and they would lose 1-0. Or they...
See, I think he's a little better than average. I don't think do I think he is the best goalie in the league? Absolutely not. But I think he's better than average, and I think that's great. That's great. Thumbs up to that. So that brings us to, and this is these funny little trades. That brings us to the Brassard for Zibanejad deal, which straight up to me is weird. And then the fact that Brassard's older and makes more money is weird. And the fact that Ottawa had to give up a young, really good centerman who's probably going to be a really good second-line centerman, potentially first-line centerman, who knows?
They don't know. They don't think so.
They obviously don't think so. So he's a good second-line centerman for a second-line centerman who scores about the same pace as Zibanejad does, who's a little bit older and makes more money.
I would say Brassard is a little more well-established, and Zibanejad has the higher ceiling.
And Ottawa has to pay a second-round pick with that.
In 2018, so it doesn't count. It counts even less.
That's just so weird to me, that deal. And I know that he's from Ottawa, and I know Dorian wants people who are under contract. That's a huge thing in Ottawa because they can't sign people for some reason. They got the internal cap, but it seems to be, it's almost like Ottawa, like, you know how there's the rumors about players not wanting to sign in Edmonton until Connor McDavid showed up. It's almost like Ottawa is operating under that same assumption that players don't want to sign there. So they're going to get a bunch of the middle of the run guys and hope to squeak into the playoffs. And that's what Dorian seems to want. I mean, they want Brassard's power play production because he's good on the power play. 22 points, I believe, last year on the power play, which is great for a terrible power play. But what doesn't compute with me is why you couldn't set Zibanejad up for those same numbers. He seems like the same guy, just younger. And if you are Ottawa, why wouldn't you want to keep a guy like that unless he's maybe his contract's up and he's asking a lot of money?
The full trade, by the way, just so we have it, Derek Brassard to the Ottawa Senators and a 7th-round pick in 2018 to the Rangers, Mika Zibanejad, and a 2nd-round pick in 2018. That is a good question. Why couldn't they turn Zibanejad into that player? Here's another one. What are the Ottawa Senators?
They're the Vancouver Canucks of the East.
No, because
they're trying to squeak in. They're trying to squeak in. Both teams are trying to squeak in. Dorian, that is his goal, is to make the playoffs.
I think that might be a good way to put it.
Because I don't know that Eugene Melnyk is going to try to sell the team, but it feels
he's got to make the playoffs, though. It
feels more and more like Eugene Melnyk is desperate to make the playoffs / might be considering selling.
Tweet from General Manager. With Brassard's $2 million signing bonus already paid for 2016. Does that sound familiar? Money owed on each player. Zibanejad, $3.25 million over 1 year. Brassard, $10 million over 3 years. So I guess
that's about 3 point. So it's about the same.
The Sens will save money
in the long term.
Yes.
Because Zibanejad would make more. Well, I mean, and if you look at it from that perspective, it's a smart deal.
If you look at it from that perspective, they save money and it makes them better now.
Which is what they want to be. They want to win now.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Well, they got to make the playoffs.
Because to make budget, they got to make the playoffs.
And this is the thing. And they do got to play. Like, your team should be around where your best player is, I think. Right? So the Sens, you might say, okay, well, they're kind of cash poor. So you should probably be young and rebuilding and building towards the future. Well, they did try that for a little bit. And now they got Erik Karlsson, who's one of the best defenders in the league, if not the best. Well, not according to the Norris Trophy, but okay, he's one of the top 5 defenders in the league, okay?
Would you say there's no doubt he's top 5?
Oh, my goodness, wouldn't I? He's one of the top 5 defenders in the league. He's in his prime. You want to be making the playoffs when your best player is in his prime, I think.
You want to be exiting in the first round when your top player.
No, look.
2 home playoff dates, Adam. That's a lot of cash.
$2 million each, isn't it? Something like $2 million.
Well, for the Leafs. Might be a little different for the Sens,
Is your Toronto showing? Or is your economic truth showing?
You mispronounced superiority.
Yeah. Well, it would be $2 million if the Leafs and Sens play in the first round. You imagine if they played again?
It's totally possible.
It is. Because again, the Eastern Conference is goofy as hell. And outside of Florida and Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh really, not even Philly, what else you got?
Well, Washington.
Well, okay, fine.
I mean, that's a train ride away, though, so Adam's still...
That's true. That's true. Okay, fine. So there's your top 4.
Okay.
But there's another pick that is just... trade, that's just like, how do you explain it? How do you explain it to a casual fan? Like, I have no problem understanding what happened. That was actually...
It's an economic move. However, I still believe that deal will go back and hurt them because I think Zibanejad's got some gears. And I think it's smart on the Rangers' part, who are aging, to get young guys like that. Because you've got Zuccarello and you've got Zibanejad and you're... Lundqvist. So the one thing they're going to have to do is goalie. Example.
Where are the Rangers? They are where Henrik Lundqvist is. Old and needing to win immediately or looking at retooling. They are where Henrik Lundqvist is. You look around the league, most teams, I think, are like that. You take a look at any team whose best players are in their prime, they got to win.
When you look at great teams around the league that are a piece missing, who's the great team around the league that's missing a great stellar goaltender?
Not the Penguins.
St. Louis.
St. St. Louis, I would say. Like Jake Allen, is Jake Allen great? Can be good, I would say.
Is Brian Elliott still there?
No, he's in Calgary now.
Oh, right.
And which makes them like that.
Instantly
better
better.
instantly.
Depending on what you think of Luongo and Reimer, Florida.
I
Well,
keep
Luongo
that.
was fantastic
He
last
was
year.
great.
Well, he's going to be injured the first month, 2 months of the season.
But then you got Reimer for a month.
Okay.
Oh, just
The now second
throwing
best,
shade.
the next best 34 on the Leafs ever.
Yes.
The second best.
That's an insult to Jamie McCown, sir.
Oh, sorry, you're right. He's the third best.
Don't insult
Ben
the
Reimer's the
Tash.
third best. Now, we got to go on the radio side of things, but we still have to talk about USA Hockey. Okay. And I think we've made our point with Brassard and Zibanejad. It's a weird deal, and weird stuff is happening in Ottawa, and don't expect any normal stuff to happen out of Ottawa, just like Vancouver. Just weird. There's weirdness going on. You guys are weird. You're weird. You're being weird.
I have more faith in Ottawa's weird.
Me too.
Does that make sense?
Yes. 1,000%. Absolutely. But we do need to talk about USA Hockey because they had a dropout. And as you know,
A Kanye West album?
the American who scored the most goals since 2008 in the NHL, who is in the prime of his career and just won a Stanley Cup, is available. Did they go with him? We'll talk about that on the download portion of this podcast at sportsnet.ca. You can download it on iTunes, you can download it on Podstitcher or Google Play or wherever you want to find a podcast, but mostly sportsnet.ca. We are the Steve Dangle Podcast, brought to you by Panago Pizza. It is what is on the inside that counts, after all.
I thought my Kanye West joke was very good.
I had to skate over it. We were running out of time.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Not that funny. Let's move on.
I mean, it's your show, man, so you can say stuff like that, but I mean, your name's on it and that sort of thing, so yeah. Anyway,
What is maturity? I think it's coping with embarrassment.
yes.
Better.
Well, I think
I deal with embarrassment like I can just go, well, that was a shitty joke.
yeah. No, it's
That would have
cool.
ruined my day in high school.
Here's the thing you got to remember about embarrassment. Unless it's something that's actually bad, like unless it's something you got caught doing that is criminally bad, you really have no reason to get that embarrassed about much.
Running over a Pikachu.
Running over a Pikachu is bad. Running over a person, worse. You know, these are things that to get embarrassed about.
Debatable.
Pikachu's
cute.
If someone steals your clothes and puts them in the shower because you're late to a team meeting, don't get embarrassed. You kind of deserved it, right? Right?
I don't know who you're talking about.
So that's what you need to remember in life. USA Hockey.
Yes.
For the World Cup, USA Hockey has decided that they want to be okay. At least from my perspective, and I think from many.
Adam, do you believe in miracles?
Well, I think maybe that's why they're doing it. Maybe because hockey in the United States, the interest in hockey is obviously not as big as it is up here.
Guys, what is the biggest moment in our country's history in hockey? The time we sent a shitty team and they beat the Russians? Exactly.
So
We need to recreate that with the most mediocre team we can compile. I want our best men on it. Now, we have bad news, sir. Ryan Callahan dropped out. Damn it! He was one of the best mediocre players we've had. We need to flip
Isn't there any more mediocre players we can get? Yes, sir, there is.
We got Kyle Palmieri on the phone right now. Damn it, he's actually kind of good. Whatever, the other option's Kessel. Bring him on!
And with respect to Kyle Palmieri, who is actually a very good hockey player.
Sure.
They actually, in fact, I think Ben Scriven said it best last episode. They're all very good hockey players. Even if at the AHL, you're a very good hockey player.
I saw Colton Orr scored a breakaway goal on Martin Brodeur once.
That's
and
cool.
I saw live George Peros score a breakaway goal on the Leafs. On Curtis Joseph, I believe it was.
Wow.
Or no, it was... I think it was on No. Yeah, it was on Curtis Joseph.
Was it Jurtis Kosov?
No, shut up. I was at that famous game where I want to say Toskala was in net the whole game. Yeah, Toskala was in net. And then it went to the shootout. And they went, we know better. We know what's up. And they switched goalies for the shootout.
Wow.
And the whole crowd goes, what? All right, yeah, let's try it. Ducks scored 2 goals. Ends the shootout.
Wow.
Anyway, Perro scored a breakaway. And everyone was like, Oh, shoot, they got a breakaway. It's George Parros. Oh, shit, he scored. George Parros, good hockey player. Just saying.
And to that point...
Was that too long?
No, I think we got it. Kyle Palmieri. No, it was a good story.
I think we got it.
No, I didn't mean that in a bad way.
I think we got
I didn't mean it like that.
You fucking did.
Kyle Palmieri, good hockey player. Is Kyle Palmieri better than Phil Kessel?
No.
Is Ryan Callahan better than Phil Kessel?
No.
Okay, so now that we have that out of the way, so the internet doesn't explode at us, because we always have to quantify this, USA Hockey has missed yet another opportunity to pick the best American player currently alive. Why are they not taking Phil Kessel? I don't get it.
Adam, Patrick Kane's already on the roster.
Again,
They already had
USA
him score all the
Hockey
goals.
missed the opportunity to put the best American-born hockey player currently alive on their roster. What's going on here?
Adam, JVR is already on the roster.
All right. Is he?
Yes.
Yeah, so let me ask you something. Okay. All right, so you get a fantasy draft, okay? So you like NHL 16 fantasy draft, okay? Steve?
Yes.
Every player is
I
available.
promise I'm looking at this for...
Every player on the board is available. Who goes first? And respect to all the players involved. JVR or Phil Kessel?
Phil Kessel.
Kyle Palmieri or Phil Kessel?
Phil Kessel.
Ryan Callahan or Phil Kessel?
Phil Kessel.
Now, if I were to...
I don't know. How much leadership do we need?
I mean...
Zach Parise
Or Phil Kessel? No, you're not actually thinking about this.
Phil Kessel.
TJ Oshie or Phil
You
Kessel?
bullied me into that answer.
You're not thinking that.
I'm kidding.
Come on.
Are we going to the shootout?
No.
Okay,
Does
Phil
it
Kessel.
matter? We don't have to go to
matters
the
a little
shootout
bit.
if you have Phil Kessel. This is what, and you know, it's what kills me about this. Now, you might say a lot of people would pick Patrick Kane over Phil Kessel. That's understandable. He's won cups, and for whatever reason, people go shiny thing. He has 3 shiny things in his closet.
But at least Kessel has one shiny thing.
He does. He does. He actually does.
I would pick Phil Kessel over Ryan McDonough. Let Kessel play.
Do we have more? Can we bring up more of the roster?
Montreal Canadiens wouldn't.
It's true.
Who else do we have on the Team USA roster? Do you have that in front of you right now?
We can go through it if you
Yeah,
want.
let's go through it.
All the forwards: Abdicator, Bacchus, Dubinsky.
Hold on. Go through it
Yeah.
and ask me at every point and ask Steve.
Okay.
Kessel or blank?
Kessel or Abdicator.
Kessel.
Kessel or Bacchus.
Kessel.
Kessel.
Well, I
or-
mean, some of these guys are centers, though. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It doesn't matter. We're talking NHL fantasy draft.
Yeah.
NHL fantasy draft. Who goes first?
Kessel or Dubinsky.
Kessel.
Kessel or Kessler.
Kessel.
Kessel or Oshie.
Kessel.
Kessel or Pacioretty.
Kessel in most situations.
Kessel or Parise.
I think that's tighter than you guys are giving it credit. Probably Kessel.
I think you're nuts. Kessel.
Probably Kessel.
Kessel
on,
or
man.
Pavelski.
Kessel.
Pavelski's good.
He is good. All right, I'll give you Pavelski.
I'll give Pavelski.
Give you Pavelski for sure.
So Kessel's 2 on our list right now.
What a piece of garbage.
Kessel or Derek Stepan.
He's great.
Kessel.
And again,
And Stepan's fine.
exactly. None of the players mentioned are bad hockey players.
We got-
So
we
let's
got
just continue with that.
3 more. Kessel or JVR.
Kessel.
Kessel or Blake Wheeler.
Kessel.
Kessel or Palmieri.
Kessel.
And then Kessel or Patrick Kane.
A lot of people would go Patrick Kane.
Am I
I'm
still
taking Kessel.
assembling an NHL team?
I'm
Kessel.
taking Kessel.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And
Kessel's
I'm biased,
number 2.
but
I know you do.
he's
have to
number
sit
2,
up at the
3.
side.
Depends on how you look at it, okay?
3 at worst.
I have figured it out, though.
What is it?
Here is why Kessel is not on Team USA. Or part of the reason.
Do
okay?
tell.
Adam,
Do share.
look at this picture. And tell me what that is a picture of. Describe
It's
it.
him. It's Phil Kessel with his white T-shirt and his Under Armour hat on, with a Stanley Cup beside a very nice-looking mother and her 2 children at the Toronto Sick Kids Hospital, I believe.
That's right, because he brought the Stanley Cup to the Sick Kids Hospital because he is the best.
Yeah, because he has 1 day with the Stanley Cup.
One.
And-
Well, I think he had like a day and a half.
It was, yeah, it was a day
Did he
and a half.
take it home?
Yeah, he got it.
It was in
before, and
Wisconsin.
He was on
Yeah, he did.
Kessel Drive.
So
or
he,
whatever it is.
so he could have stayed in Wisconsin.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
There's a Kessel Drive.
Yeah.
We need to go.
That's pretty sick.
it's like Kessel Crescent or something. I don't know.
See, if you only have one player in the family,
No,
That's
sorry.
a reach.
if you only have one player in the family make it, they might not give you a street. But they got
Amanda, Phil,
and the other one, Blake.
Blake Kessel, who was in the Leafs system or was.
I think he was a Marley for a little bit.
Yeah,
or with the
he's around. They gave him a shot.
Adam, that was a little bit of trickery that I did there, though.
Oh,
this is not the full picture. I zoomed in a bit.
Oh, can you zoom out, please, so I can see the full picture?
There you go. What I want you to describe what you see now that the picture is zoomed out.
There seems to be some ice on the hand.
Phil Kessel's hand is wrapped. His right hand is wrapped because he just had surgery on that hand. Now, a bunch of people told me he's supposed to be healed up by the World Cup. Maybe, but
here's the issue with this. You ready? Here's the issue with this. Amanda Kessel was pissed when Phil didn't get named to the team.
Was she?
Yeah,
I didn't
she
see
retweeted
this.
something that said, "How is Phil Kessel not on this team?" Go into her timeline and look it up. And beyond that, is Ryan Callahan not injured?
Well,
was Ryan Callahan named to Team USA?
I'll tell you someone who was named to Team North America, and the first block of the show has been ruined.
What?
The Leafs announced today that they've signed forward Auston Matthews to a 3-year entry-level contract.
Do we have any bonuses? Do we know anything?
Half an hour
of course
of radio
not.
gone.
It's gone. It's fucking gone.
Well, this is the joy of a podcast.
It's all... Okay, Chris Johnson. Auston Matthews signs entry-level deal with Leafs, includes max bonuses and salary per sources. I'm going to tweet this. LOL, the first block of the podcast, which has already been recorded, has been ruined.
Well, at least we said we had no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, at least we were just,
Anyways, here's a nice picture of Amanda Kessel.
Steve, I think you made a really great point. Our information about Lou Lamoriello was 4 years old. And that is the
4
best.
4 years and a lockout old. That's old.
That's the best.
4 years old.
And we're
4
also
years
not.
and a lockout?
Adam Larson is no Auston Matthews.
I mean, no.
He's a Taylor Hall, though. Anyway.
Although Pierre Maguire called him the steal of the draft at 4th overall.
He also, remember what a terrible
I think
pick?
that was him. I might be wrong.
Remember when Montreal drafted Carey Price 5th overall?
Oh, he hated that.
Terrible pick. Oh my God, what a terrible pick. God. You know what
Man,
sucks?
if you say that, like, look, a lot of people hate some commentators and analysts for having, like, strong opinions. Guys, if you had to make TV, if you had to control ears and eyes, get people to watch your shit, you would want personalities like that. But if you say something like that's a terrible pick, you better be fucking right.
Yeah.
Like, you better be sure.
And listen, we all have egg on our faces. We have all said and done. If you're broadcasting, you have to accept that you're going to be wrong
Every
a
single
lot.
show. Dude, the first block of the show is garbage.
I don't think it's garbage.
No, I know.
I thought we were fair. I thought we covered the viewpoints, and I think that's the whole point, right? So, anyway, and you know Auston Matthews, who has said probably 40 words in his entire life, because the guy does not speak, is not going to reveal to us how tough the negotiations were. But I would like to know. I still wish I could know.
Not that tough. I
guess
would
they gave
imagine
him
if he
everything.
wasn't even involved, or he was like barely involved.
Well, his agent would have done it.
Yeah.
And here's the thing.
Shit.
Who cares? Auston Matthews is probably looking at that money going, who the hell cares what I make? Who the hell cares what I make in taxes? But whatever. Because you know what? Endorsements, man. That guy.
Well, yeah.
That guy has so much extracurricular money coming to him. Literally, the trains have already started, and they're going so fast that they can't. The money trains they're going to just dump money.
Now, my information on this is outdated, so I'm sure the internet will correct me. But what do you make in the OHL? Nothing.
A cheese sandwich.
Yeah, like a per diem. Although there have been rumors of shenanigans, but whatever. QMJHL, nothing.
Cheese sandwich.
Yeah. WHL, nothing. Junior A, nothing. College, an education, I guess.
Which is worth sometimes, like especially at Harvard, like $100,000.
It's worth a lot. But monetarily, nothing. If I'm not mistaken, players in the Swiss League across the board make $400,000.
All of them?
That's my understanding. Is every player makes $400,000. No one makes more. No one makes less. Now that might be out of date.
That is communist.
That might be out of date. I don't know if that's
Nobody tell Donald Trump. Nobody
could have swore it used to be like that. Well, anyway, let's pretend it's wrong.
It is correct. $400,000 US last year.
That's good money.
It's a good living, man. Mm-hmm. It's a good living.
And I don't know how high the taxes are in Switzerland. But it's a pretty rich country.
It sure is. So Matthews already has more money than most players his age. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Most people his age.
Most people his age. Yes, but we're comparing. I am not a prospect to be signed to an NHL team. I'm also 10 years older than Auston Matthews. God, that makes me feel old.
He's got more money than you.
Oh, so much more.
It's all of us, man.
Have
all of
I
us.
made as much money in my life as Matthews made last year? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. The Toronto Zoo, I mean, well, it was good. It was a good summer job. Anyway, point being, that's awesome. I don't know.
It's great news.
I don't know how the show is
Back to
sound.
USA Hockey.
That's hilarious.
Yes.
Sorry.
Back to USA Hockey. Who cares? Who cares? It'll be fine.
yeah.
It's all good.
Who cares?
I
Besides
don't
me.
understand this. To me, when I look at the USA Hockey roster, here's what it feels like to me. It's a bunch of Ryan Kesslers to varying degrees. It's like the USA Hockey has looked at the Ryan Kessler / Justin Abdelkader model and gone, that second line is what we want on our entire team to be the second line.
4 second lines just running
Honestly. And I feel like I don't understand the thing you need sometimes is if that is your team, and admittedly, I don't think USA Hockey is as strong as it has been, in the Madonna, Brett Hall era. It was stronger. I think everybody can agree on that. Even though they didn't really perform well internationally, they had some really great goaltending. They had a really great team. They had Mike Richter. They had Brian Leach. They had those.
There was that one tournament. I can't remember what it was, but Richter couldn't be beat.
Yeah.
I hated him.
Well, their
when I was a kid, I
goaltending
hated him.
might be the best in the world.
Corey
Ben
Schneider.
Bishop, Jonathan Quick, Corey Schneider.
Good.
That's
You
ridiculous.
can't. I don't like who's competing.
But
with that?
the point
That's fair
is, I don't understand in those moments where you need an X factor. Why do you not have one X factor? Because you got Kane, but that's one guy, and you need to spread those defensemen out. If they fly paper to Kane, I mean, I don't know what they're going to do.
Maybe their whole thing is going to be just shutting everyone down. We're going to try to defend. We're going to get guys who are known for banging and crashing, blocking shots. We got crazy huge goalies who, like Ben Bishop, can stop pucks by accident.
6'7".
Seriously, he can block shots by accident.
Yeah, when they say brick wall, they mean it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
He's a lot
and
of
then
human.
you have a few guys who can score as well. And you can win that way. Leafs tried it in 2013.
They did.
You can win. In a short tournament especially, you can win that way. Totally.
Man, it's crazy.
How
Anyway,
much does the tournament being in Toronto play into this? At all?
Into the decisions?
Yeah.
Oh, Kessel?
Kessel, like specifically.
Why? You would definitely want him there. Oh, but then it's a huge distraction for your team.
or it's not, and it's a great way to sell the game.
But is
But-
USA
but
Hockey
God-
thinking about selling the game?
Well,
Or are
they've-
they
Adam's
thinking
got it.
If they're not
petty little Kessel
fucking
things?
thinking that, then they should be, because why do you throw the World Cup in the first place? To sell the game.
That's true. Why? You should be.
No,
doing
and that was
everything
not
in your
directed
power.
at you.
Oh, no.
By the way, just so you know. What the fuck, Jesse?
You should be. Man, I had not thought of that. It is damaging to USA Hockey that Kessel's
Damaging.
not on that
It's
team.
damaging to Canadian hockey
Well-
that PK Subban and Taylor Hall are no longer on Canadian teams.
But it helps their locker rooms to not
You
have the
bet.
distraction.
You bet.
That's
no,
what we should
you
be
know
thinking
what?
about.
I look at the Montreal Canadiens now and I go, there's a team with no distractions at all.
Exactly.
There's a team that we definitely
Team Canada?
haven't spoken about since like June.
Team Canada, no distractions. PK is not there.
You know,
You're right.
How about this? How about we start
No
looking?
more purple suits for Team Canada.
This is ludicrous. This is the only league that will actively take superstars out of a tournament. Can you imagine? Let's say,
I don't know if do you think it's active?
Like,
if they didn't pick him, it's active.
Gary Bettman didn't say don't pick Kessel.
USA Hockey did.
Yeah,
That's the
coaches
point.
don't want the Toronto
Why?
distraction.
Why? Like, I want
Because
to
there's-
go down your
because
conspiracy rabbit hole here.
This
I
is
wanna
not a
figure this out.
conspiracy rabbit hole. This is a cultural problem with hockey. This is why the game isn't bigger. This is what I keep beating this damn drum because it's correct.
Literally beating the console.
It's correct. The thing is that this league hates people who are different. They hate Ovechkin because he has a personality. They hate Kessel because he doesn't.
And it's definitely on steroids,
Why?
by the way.
What is both of them
100%.
score freaking
There's a hole
bags
in
of
the wall
goals?
in his dressing room. You know,
Malkin, too.
You guys aren't even listening to me. I don't even know. Screw you guys.
you didn't know
I'm
about
going him.
Steroid up at Ovechkin Like, just juice to the gills?
Oh, I remember a certain Toronto sports writer saying that about Jose Bautista, too. How did he all of a sudden get 50 home runs? Well, survey says
He's good.
PEDs.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that article. It's done by a friend of the show. Not actually.
Oh.
We won't get into that. But that's the point is,
you're right.
Here you go. Two guys who score a lot of goals and are electrifying. Ovechkin and Kessel. Okay? And in fact, one of them's an American. So by that fact alone, they should like him more because there's no chance to be xenophobic at Phil Kessel's expense. Ovechkin has a personality, Kessel does not, and they hate them for one having a personality and one not having a personality. Well, Kessel should and Ovechkin shouldn't. This is crazy. Can you imagine this happening in any other league under any other circumstances?
To answer your question, no.
Like, this just would never happen.
No. I don't know if you heard the whole PK screaming episode while you weren't here.
Yes.
But yeah, the NHL
I heard it on a train to Liverpool.
Oh, that's right. The NHL is like easily, like as a league, not as a product, but as a league, the most boring sport going. Like easily the most boring.
More
league.
boring than baseball. Bryce Harper alone is more exciting than all of the NHL.
All of the NHL. All of the NHL. Like I was screaming about PK. Like, okay, I'm a company. I sell phones. I have a giant company that sells phones and sport drinks and also bread because you can sell bread in Canada.
Sure
you can use Sidney Crosby to sell bread. Who in the NHL do I get? Who do I offer bajillions of dollars?
PK.
Yeah. But who has the big deals in the league?
Oh, who has the big deals?
Guys I'm trying to think of.
Sidney Crosby?
Crosby has everything.
Taves.
Stamkos has a lot. Nah, Taves isn't on that echelon. He's almost there. He's got the Canadian Tire.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's done a couple other things. Maybe he's there. He's on the low end of that tier.
Yeah.
Subban, like no one touches.
Do you ever look at those Timbits hockey commercials and go, why doesn't Sidney Crosby talk more?
But it's perfect. Like, because they don't need him to be like a salesman for them. They just need you to connect with a memory from your childhood where you went and got Tim Hortons with your parents, and they need you to smile and nod at that memory while Sidney Crosby smiles and nods with you.
Yes, that's
it. And the voiceover man does the talk.
Exactly. Yeah. And nothing against Sid, but Sid's not a guy, if he was not a hockey player, is not a guy you'd put on camera.
No.
Americans still...
He's just not.
Americans don't believe me. There was a commercial where I'm fairly certain Sidney Crosby says nothing and makes a sandwich. With bread.
Was it with... Who was
it's
it with?
Dempster's.
Yeah.
He just makes a sandwich, and then I think he takes a bite, and he gives an approval.
And by the way, Sidney Crosby does not eat sandwiches. He drinks green drink.
Doesn't know what bread is.
He drinks green drink.
No.
That's what he drinks.
Especially white bread.
Oh, yeah.
Sidney Crosby's eating white bread. Give me a break.
How dare you? It's prejudice to bread.
Yeah, why do you got to make it a racial bread issue?
Matter.
No, Jesse, all bread matters, okay?
All grain matters.
I'm going to sing about it in the anthem. I'm going to work it in. Oh,
by the way, the guy that did that, have you ever looked up the guy that did the anthem?
He's a crazy man.
He's a flat earther. He's a flat earther.
Don't vaccinate your kids, people.
Don't even be upset at that guy. Just go, okay, but that's a crazy person, so who the hell cares anyway?
Yeah.
He's crazy. Pity him. Pity him.
Yeah.
It's like B.O.B. Where's he at? Like B.O.B. and that guy who are flat earth people.
If someone randomly picked me out of a crowd and just went, hey, you with the shirt, fuck you, I'd be like, hey man, fuck you too. But if I saw that guy just spinning in a circle going, fuck you, to one person, then turns around, fuck you too, and then fuck you, I'd just be like, oh, that's a crazy person.
Yes. And
so that guy's just a crazy
guy.
And
sometimes people who are a little crazy are still able to function in society.
Yep.
And this guy's a little crazy.
And somehow he got platformed in front of America and the world.
Sometimes crazy people are talented.
Sidney Crosby's Dempster's bread commercial.
All right.
There we go.
Okay, I want to see if he says anything. No, I know. I'll put it next to the mic. Okay, a kid. So, what happened here is there's a billboard with Crosby's face on it and a sandwich. a kid looked up at it and went, oh, Sidney Crosby's having a sandwich on Dempster's bread. And he rides home so fast on his bike and says this.
Mom, can I have a Dempster's whole grains with turkey sandwich?
I never once asked my mom for a Dempster's whole grain turkey sandwich. In those, Mom, can I have a sandwich?
Yeah.
Or I would just make a sandwich. That kid is definitely old enough to make his own sandwiches.
Yeah.
Lazy bastard.
And also, what I find hilarious about this is the premise of the commercial is to prove that advertising works. Because here's the endorsement. Look at this endorsement working. Also, this bread's delicious.
This kid fell for this ad. You should fall for this ad.
Also,
it's adception.
It is an adception. Also, you are preying on the minds of the young lives of tomorrow. You are not supposed to advertise to kids. You're not supposed to go after kids like that. They're the young minds of tomorrow. You're supposed to leave them and advertise to adults who should know better.
But those young minds need to go to school and they need to learn. And how can they learn without a Dempster's whole grain turkey sandwich in their stomach?
You get half your daily grains in that.
The commercial continues. So afterwards, there's a scene at a grocery store, and there's fucking pandemonium because people are ripping Dempster's bread off the shelves to make.
Is it the apocalypse?
To make sandwiches.
The Dempocalypse.
There's a whole hockey team eating sandwiches.
Dempster's whole grains bread.
Is that Crosby's voice?
That is Crosby's voice.
Now,
Yeah,
none of this can be heard on Steve's microphone because he's holding it behind the microphone. No, leave it. What Jesse will do after is he'll put this in.
Yes.
We're going to have him put that in.
Maybe.
Can we put clear audio in?
Maybe.
I'll record the commercial and I will send it to you.
I'll do it.
Thank you. Because
What
I
I'm
want
trying
people
to-
to actually hear what we're talking about.
Yeah, I'll put it in there.
Hockey players can be used to sell anything
Yeah.
in this country, and they still only pick pretty much like 3 guys,
Yep.
4 guys.
Have you ever seen the Pittsburgh Penguins local Pittsburgh auto commercial with Evgeny Malkin
yeah.
and not Crosby? It's everybody but Crosby.
Maxime Talbot.
Yeah. And it's the worst. What is it, a Mercedes commercial or something like that?
I think they have a couple. I think they have a couple really bad ones.
So one of them, they throw the keys to Malkin, and he can barely speak English at this point, and I think he just starts dancing. Is it him, or is it Talbot?
I think there's a lot of awkward dancing going on, and I think Colby Armstrong's in it too.
Yes, it was that long ago. So that's something to look up. We're not going to get too into that now, but there are some bad commercials out there. But the fact of the matter is, that's the difference. If Malkin was in Canada, Malkin would be.
He could sell everything.
He would sell everything. There, at that point, he was selling a local car dealership. Anyway, shall we get to what is up in Liberty Village? Because we haven't done this in a while, and Jesse's got a couple things.
Let me just swap this camera for a second. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
Okay, Jesse's got to swap the camera. Do you know why Jesse has to get up and swap the camera every single time? Do you know the answer to that? Did you know that there is a rule?
Oh, yes. Oh, Adam, please tell everyone this rule.
Now, Jesse knows more about it than I do because Jesse had to look this up. But when you use an SLR camera to record things, I believe the recording, correct me if I'm wrong, Jesse, cannot be longer than
29 minutes.
29 minutes. You cannot video record for more than 29 minutes consecutively because that would turn it into a video camera.
Which
Instead of a camera that
Why
does
does that
video.
matter?
Well, because you see, Steve, 30 years ago when these laws were created, they had different.
Why does that law exist?
Because changing laws is hard, and we pay a bunch of politicians to make things harder for us. So these cameras could technically, if you could keep them plugged in, record forever. However, they have to put software in that cuts the recording off at 29 minutes in keeping with said law that's 30 years old.
I'll say it again, there are so many things where if we woke up and just had to start society fresh tomorrow, we would never come to the conclusion that that was a smart thing to do. Never!
And why the law needed to be created in the first place is what's perplexing to me.
Yeah.
Like, let's sit down here, we're going to have a meeting. And in this meeting, we got high-priced lawyers here, we got public money at stake. What we need to do is differentiate between the thing that takes photographs and the thing that takes videos. At the time, those were two separate things. Why do we need a law to separate them? Even at the time, it didn't make sense.
I have an idea, and this will solve so many of those stupid laws, okay? Every time you want to make a stupid law, what you got to do is leave the building, okay? You have to walk a minimum of 5 minutes away. You got to pick a street corner, okay?
I like it.
Say, I picked the street corner. you have to speak to 11 civilians. Just any 11 civilians walking by, okay? 11 because you need an odd number. And you got to go, here's the law we're proposing. If 6 of those 11 people tell you to fuck off, can't be a law.
I like this.
Can't be a law.
So what you're proposing is fuck off legislature.
Absolutely.
I like it. Fuck off legislature.
What if you run into 11 crazy people?
What if you run into...
Hey, you know what? You roll the dice a little bit, but your odds are better than what
It's
they
a
currently
democracy.
are. Almost guaranteed, at least 6 of 11 people will go, why the fuck is that a law? And then that wouldn't be a law.
And I hope
You'd be fine.
one of them would say, what is it that you do here? What do you actually do? Just saying. Jesse, can we get up
Yes.
what's up in Liberty Village? It's been a while. It's been a while since we...
a little bit of breaking news.
Okay.
Real quick. This is from Mark Spector. Confirmed. Oilers part ways with analytics man Tyler Dello. Contract not renewed for 2016-17.
Can we have him on?
Ooh, maybe.
Let's call Tyler Dello.
Okay.
I'd like to talk to Tyler Dello.
like now?
Tuesday's episode, possibly?
Tuesday.
See, we still got to have Christina Rutherford.
Well, we'll have her on too.
oh, yeah, you're right. We can do that.
Yeah, well, not together, but we have multiple episodes. That's the great
Sure.
thing about
By
a
the way,
podcast.
like she's
No,
blown
next
up.
one's the last one ever. We can't do multiple episodes.
No, you're right.
No.
You're right.
No.
No, she's blown up since she canceled on us, Christina.
That's unfortunate.
Not literally. She
Oh,
didn't. Like not like from fireworks.
I was going to say that's tragic.
Do you guys want to check in with Sarah and Kate?
Oh, Adam. Yes.
Sarah and Kate live in Liberty Village.
Get out.
Yeah.
Get out.
So Sarah
Sorry,
posted
where do they live?
Lib Vig.
Oh, thank you.
There you go. So Sarah's opening a bar.
Just
In
one.
Livage?
Yeah, in Lib Vig.
Damn.
She's calling it
for-
Toronto's first ever sober bar.
You're not. Okay? No
It's
reaction.
called a restaurant.
No reaction, Steve.
So she says, we're opening Toronto's first ever sober bar. I know. No booze, but some nights we just need a night off of drinking and still want to have a good time. So she's created a space for people to dance, listen to great music in a bar atmosphere, but with no alcohol. And she's having a DJ, and she invited the entire Liberty Village Facebook group.
Can I have a shot of warm milk? That'd be great.
You know
Would
what?
you guys go to Sarah's sober bar party?
I would go once.
Yeah.
I would go once, and God damn it, I'm getting old. Fuck! I should be making fun of that idea, but I actually think it's practical and kind of good and helpful
do?
to a lot
I
of
don't know
people.
if it's practical.
But it's a bar with dancing and
here's the
like,
thing.
the music.
Yeah, but
and then
what if
how are you supposed to get up and dance?
If
you
you
don't
want
have drinks,
if you want to go,
That's true.
Here's the
Yeah,
thing.
it's just a bar with an empty dance floor.
like it's not like they're serving you food like a restaurant. It's just a bar.
I have definitely been at weddings where I'm
drinks?
like, I'm too sober.
You know what this is?
I can't, and then I
ahead,
fix
Adam.
that.
this is a safe space. You know, here, oh, this is a safe space for you can start. That's what it is. Here's the thing: you can go to a bar and not drink.
Yeah.
And if you can't go to a bar and not drink, you're one of two things.
Yeah.
You are either somebody who has a problem with alcohol, which is really tough to deal
but
with.
a lot of people do.
Or you're somebody who doesn't have a problem with alcohol and just has self-control issues. You don't need this. And I
But imagine
understand,
that.
I
Thank
get
you.
what she's trying to do. She's trying to be different
trying to
because
help.
it's very hard. No, I don't know that she's trying to help. She's trying to make money. That's what she's trying to do.
Sure,
It costs $10.
So she wants a unique
to
selling.
get in?
Yeah.
I hate cover. Aren't I coming in to pay for shit?
You gotta
I hate
pay
cover.
$10.
Yeah.
Anyway, unless there's like an event, like a something to like a pay-per-view.
You know what she's
Otherwise,
created?
fuck that.
She's created a nighttime version of Starbucks. What are you going to get at this bar?
I don't even know if they're like serving.
Starbucks even has alcohol in the States. They don't have it here yet.
I have a friend who's straight edge, doesn't consume any alcohol or drugs or anything. And he sent me a picture of him having a non-alcoholic beer. He's like, all right, bottoms up. And I just text back, LOL. A couple minutes later, I get a text, oh my God, what's wrong with you people?
Yeah,
Because he just hates the taste of beer.
well, because most beer doesn't taste good.
Yeah.
There's some good beer. What the most beer? No, it's because you're used to.
I don't know you! There
Listen.
are some bad beers.
Listen. It
We
doesn't
drank
mean that
them
you.
together.
It doesn't mean you don't drink them. But let's be honest. Most beer doesn't taste all that good.
Fair.
It's the effects of the bad beer that you're after, right?
Oh, no, I think most liquor is delicious.
Yeah, exactly. As it burns your throat.
As you make the...
So, okay, well, good luck to her.
Yeah.
And I think what it is it's a very smart business move, because what you want to do if you're starting a bar is you want to get some sort of publicity to kick off your launch. And then you want to get people in the door, and then you want to create such a great atmosphere that people come back. That is a smart marketing plan. I have to say, I question whether or not it's needed, because we have cafes everywhere. If you don't want to drink and you want to go out.
Who dances in a cafe?
You're right. So maybe there's merit to that.
But also, you could go to a bar and not drink.
Well, I got two things there. I got two things, okay? One, I just figured out why she charges cover, because how do bars make money?
Alcohol.
The drinks. Derp. Why didn't I think of that? So that actually kind of makes a little bit of sense. Two, imagine smoking was still legal indoors, right? You could still smoke in a bar, and you're trying so hard to quit smoking. And everyone around you is smoking. And you might as well be smoking because everyone's smoking. I mean, drinking is a little bit different than that. But yeah, maybe if you're recovering, like one place in Toronto's not that bad. I'm trying to understand it.
So this is the AA bar.
The new Pokemon Go stop.
Oh, that is definitely a Pokestop. 100%.
I'd drop a lure there.
I mean, maybe.
Best of luck to her. I understand that her heart's in the right place. I'm not so sure about the idea, but I mad respect for opening a restaurant, because it's really, really risky.
No, it's not a restaurant.
It's a bar. It's a bar. But
it's not really a bar. It's a space she has.
I thought you said it was a bar.
Well, she's calling it a sober bar, and she's calling it a space to have her sober bar. Anyways.
See, that's the reason we have bars, is because every other space is where you're supposed to be sober. I don't know. That's just my, I don't know. Like, I have work to be. That's my sober space. My home is my sober space. I go out to the bar to get drunk.
You go to the laundromat and you're like, God, I'd love to be having a drink right now. Oh, man.
You guys want to check in with Kate?
Yeah, let's do it. What's up, Kate?
So, Kate's trying to give away something to the group.
Where does she live again?
Lib Vig.
Cool. Kate, what's up, Kate? What you got?
Kate says, I have some samples of natural organic sunscreen.
Okay.
I will finish that sentence by saying, she says, that I make in my kitchen. In LV, she writes. If anyone would like to try some, I'm happy to deliver any to the buildings in the area. It's made with zinc oxide.
Certain things I will eat from people's kitchens. Rarely will I eat or consume or touch anything from a stranger's kitchen. Let alone go out to a beach and risk getting fried all day because the sunscreen happens to be maybe organic.
Oh my God. Can you imagine? You're like, I'm wearing sunscreen. It's fine. It doesn't work at all. And you just die.
It's just made of butter.
Oh, where'd you get that from? My friend Sink.
Oh my God. Mrs. Dangle got a really bad sunburn yesterday. I didn't even have to touch her. I could put my hand an inch away from her leg and I could feel the heat. Oh, people need to learn how to sell things. Can you, let's do a word by word breakdown of that sentence.
Let's do it.
Just stop where you stopped the first time.
Hey guys.
Good start.
I have some samples of natural organic sunscreen.
Two things there.
Interesting.
One, I need sunscreen, and it's kind of expensive. Two, samples. I know it's free.
And let me. There's a couple buzzwords in there that I just want to draw attention to: natural and organic. That's those words sell big right now. However, natural and organic are the same thing.
Yeah, nature's not going to hurt me, and organic. Nature is still not going to hurt me. That's right.
Yeah, natural and organic mean the same thing, which I find hilarious. Natural and organic products. Well,
you know what's going to be?
That's what it means.
You know what's going to be super great? The Reddit post talking about how you're wrong.
Oh, I can't wait. Oh.
Yeah.
Have fun with your summer, kids. I'll be out catching Pokemon. You go ahead and write me that essay. I can't wait.
So here, start the sentence over again.
I have some samples of natural organic sunscreen.
Great.
That I make in my kitchen.
I am out.
That I make.
Oh yeah,
I make. I have a home business, and one of we do natural skin products. One of them is this suntan lotion. Sorry, not suntan. Sunscreen that we're trying out. Want to get your thoughts on it. Want to know what you think about this organic sunscreen. Does it work for you? That sort of thing. Let us come by for some samples. Not does it work, but we just want to know what you think. Want to get your thoughts. Want to get your feedback.
Want to know what you think. Does it work?
Not does it work.
I don't want sunscreen that doesn't work.
No.
Here,
You're
try
right.
this cookie. I think they're pretty good. And if it's not very good,
Give me your
all that
feedback.
you had is a bad cookie. Or you could have 4 days of itchy, painful agony.
Yeah, give us your feedback. I just want to get some feedback on the thing. Stop by. Here's my address. Bang. But when you say I made it in my sink, it implies that you got the recipe off Pinterest. And
Oh no!
which,
Or no,
by the way,
if you got
150,000% she did.
I hope she got her recipe off Pinterest, because otherwise she just tried some shit. This will be sunscreen.
Well, there's some Crisco and some baby powder.
White.
It's white
mostly.
and
It's,
Mostly it worked
Adam.
because it formed a plasticine cast over my body, and the sun could not penetrate that. It's,
Adam got the recipe in PK Subban's book, Luxury Toys for Men.
that was funny.
Disgusting.
By the way, luxury toys for men clearly meant cars, guys.
Are you sure? Or was
That's-
it diamond butt plugs, like Twitter suggested?
Rhinestone. But
Oh, sorry, rhinestone.
Like a rhinestone butt plug. That's a song. Rhinestone Cowboy. Glenn Campbell. Look it up. Get cultured,
I
both
don't
of you.
want to.
No.
Well, now I'll forever be rhinestone butt plug.
There's a song. Look it up. I'm into it. It's about butt plugs. I'm out.
It's not really about
You
that.
gotta learn how to sell the song.
Yeah, okay, you're right. I made the song in my sink.
She had options as well. She could go you can either get coconutty, pepperminty, or naked, which is unscented.
Stop
All three of
saying
those-
E.
Yeah, that's how she wrote
They
it.
come in coconut, mint, and natural.
Nope.
But that I am willing to
Coconutty.
overlook, because I know what coconutty means. It smells like coconut.
You're coconut.
I know what minty means. It means
Pepperminty.
pepperminty. Oh,
even
it smells like peppermint.
What's the difference?
It doesn't matter. If you throw on pepper, it's more delicious.
What the hell does peppermint mean versus mint?
No, just the word pepper in it.
That I actually want to
That is
know.
the only time
Can someone
pepper's
Reddit
good.
me on that one?
That's a thing, I think.
That's a question worth asking. Peppermint and mint. What's the
I
difference?
can't wait for that Reddit post also.
I can't either.
But I am out. It's like she's on Shark Tank right now that I made in my kitchen. I'm out. I'll be Kevin O'Leary. I'm out.
Yep.
I think we should also check in with Christine because she just wanted to update us on our favorite balcony cleaning service.
Oh, excellent.
Balcony cleaners.
Are they just called balcony cleaners?
Yeah, their company is literally called Balcony
that's-
Because
Cleaners.
they don't want to get sued by Adam.
That's up front. Yeah, balconies is technically mine.
Christine wrote on the Liberty Village Facebook page, I know Balcony Cleaners comes highly recommended on this page, so I just wanted to let you guys know that they've canceled on us 2 weekends in a row for flimsy reasons. Needless to say,
Well,
I
Way
won't
Home's
be-
this weekend, so obviously.
I won't be rescheduling a third time. Definitely wouldn't recommend them.
Oh.
Phoebe wrote on the post, I've tried getting a hold of them, tried email, PM, haven't gotten a response. Can anybody recommend a new reliable balcony cleaner?
Yeah. Do you listen to this show, Phoebe? Phoebe?
That's how she spells it too.
Pick up your shit! By the way, what week? Shit! It is Thursday, July the 21st. Maybe you want to think about this in May. Your balcony season is up in 6 weeks, sister. What are you... Maybe this one's on you. That's like going to an air conditioning company right now and going, how come you can't be here in 10 minutes? Because everybody's scheduled.
Why can't I get home as fast as I want at 5 o'clock in the evening?
Because everybody's trying to get home. Because
But I want to get home.
Yeah, but the thing is that going home is not an on-demand service.
And there's always traffic for flimsy reasons. Oh, the right lane's blocked. No, it's not.
That's
Car's in the shoulder. Fucking move over an inch.
flimsy.
Flimsy.
Anyways, that's what's up. That's what's up with Lib Vig.
Let's do the press conference. Press conference time.
First question comes.
Wow, that was weird. Back-to-back stingers there.
Yeah, normally you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, but, I ignore a lot of the shit I heard in broadcast
First question
school.
comes from Mrs. Dangle. She writes,
What?
Dear Steve,
Dan Gile.
did Steve get his dear wife an anniversary card? Question mark.
Now, Steve just threw his hand up in disgust there, so I'm going to assume not.
What happened?
And I'm assuming there's a story here.
No, I just didn't get her one.
Did she get you one?
No.
It's your 2nd year anniversary?
Yep.
Now, Steve,
Yeah.
did you...
Second year anniversary. We went out to a nice dinner. And evidently, I got her chopped liver.
Now, did you pay for said dinner?
Did I pay for said dinner?
Okay. Technically speaking, I think an anniversary dinner should be split. That's just me.
Whoa, all right. You have fun with that.
You're celebrating the
When you get
couple.
married. You have fun with that.
I think Valentine's Day should be split too.
Totally.
Adam.
Just saying.
Totally. Or just don't do it. As Ben Scriven said.
Oh God, I would so love to not do it. I would
don't do
so love that, but I would know it would break Caprice's heart, and
Oh
I
my
could
God.
never live with that. It would break her heart, and I
Tell
love
me-
her so much. There's no way.
Did you see Jenny Scrivens on Twitter go, hey, like on a scale of 1 to 10, should I listen to this episode with my parents? And then people just started quoting like, well, it was physical at first. I'm like, no!
I wonder if Jenny did listen to it.
She did.
Yeah. What did she? Did she give you any thoughts on Valentine's Day? That would have been good to know. I wish we could have her on to talk about that.
No, I don't think she did. Oh yeah, we got to have her on at some point.
Because I would love to get her response to that. Because I wonder if hers and Ben's story is different. It's always that way with couples. Oh, we don't do that. Pff, we don't care. Well, I would actually really like to do that, but my partner doesn't want to do that. So I can't.
So, Adam, you're engaged.
Yep.
Is Steve in the wrong for not getting his wife an anniversary
I
card?
think when in doubt, get a card.
Yeah.
I think when in doubt, get a card. And it's not Steve. This is something as a newly engaged, like as a rookie.
Can you dad him right now?
My only thing is cards cannot ever hurt you. Unless you write something nasty in it. You can't plus minus wise, you're never minusing on a card. Unless it's literally meant for like unless you write it for your girlfriend, but it goes to your wife.
Our cards
like, you know,
a
I mean,
league average goalie.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. There's nothing to be lost here. So I am surprised because you are normally, Steve, a very good husband. This doesn't make you not a good husband.
Sure.
And you did go out and you paid for dinner, and I think that's amazing.
Now here's where I'm wrong. And I know I'm wrong, and she gets to hear me say that I'm wrong.
Okay.
Here's where I know I'm wrong. All she wants on like special dates is a fucking card.
Yeah.
She keeps asking for a fucking card. And sometimes I don't, because it's just a fucking card. But how hard is it to get just a fucking card? All she wants is a fucking card. We're 2 years in. I have now learned my lesson. Just get her the fucking card, and then she won't ask you questions on your podcast.
And by the way, Steve writes the funniest cards.
Yes, I do!
He writes hysterical cards. So this is a strength of yours.
And you wouldn't get your wife a
This
card?
is like not showing up to a power play if you're Steven Stamkos. It's like, no, let someone else have it.
I like to be paid to write.
I think she pays you in the fact that she got you the webcam that you started on. I think that's payment. I think
shit.
that's cards for the rest of your life,
and
partner.
in love.
Oh,
She
yeah.
pays him in love.
Oh, that webcam. It was $29, and it was like 9
You know, the
years
start
ago.
of your career.
How long am I still in debt for that? Oh, I want to know. I fucked up, all right?
You did, and we love you.
Next question.
You want to hear me say it?
How much has she made you pay for this, by the way? Because that's the thing. Sometimes as a partner, you kind of you do it for fun. You almost like spear them just for fun when they mess up.
Fucking card.
Yeah, and that's by the way, traditionally, and I hate to cast us in gender roles here, but traditionally, for some reason, men have been allowed to get off the hook on this one and women haven't, and therefore women are way better at that stuff than men are.
Wait, cards?
Cards and stuff. Yeah, men traditionally, we're not the greatest when it comes to birthdays, cards, that sort of thing. We're just,
And we get let off the hook for that?
I think we do.
Oh,
I think that's the
good luck, Adam.
maybe by our
Oh,
mothers.
boy.
Maybe by our mothers. It's like, oh, don't give me a card for my birthday. I don't care.
Have fun thinking that shit.
Well,
I don't know.
what do you mean?
No, you never actually get off the hook for anything.
I
You
get
know
that,
what's
Steve,
seen-
but I just feel like there's a reason why women are better at it from what I've seen.
Oh, remembering?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And I
They're
don't know
better
why.
at that.
Are men
they're
who we
smarter.
thought they were, and
we let them
I'm off the hook. That's that.
You know what's seen? What's seen in TV is so true, and I didn't realize it for a number of years. Red on that 70 show tells the story of when he accidentally scuffed one of what's her name? Kitty?
Kitty's shoes.
Great episode.
Yeah. And then he says every now and then she just looks at them and goes, "Oh." And I go, "What's wrong?" And she says nothing and then puts them away. And then at the very end of the episode, she runs down, she puts on the shoes, and she just goes, "Oh. Oh, what's wrong, Kitty?" "Nothing." And she runs away and puts them away. That's what they do. waves against the shore.
Next
just
question,
eroding
sir.
Rocks.
The Dangle Navy on Reddit has suggested, this is the most upvoted question of the
The
day.
entire Dangle Navy.
The entire Dangle Navy says, Dangle Navy tour at the zoo with the podcast, and Steve.
That's actually a great idea.
Can we make this happen?
I love that idea.
And we fill the whole Zoomobile.
Yeah. And then Steve
Which can fit,
does
I
the
think,
tour.
about
I love
80
that
people.
idea.
And I do the tour.
That's a great idea.
Yo, I can set that up.
Can you?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Can we do that?
With like a couple emails.
Next weekend. Long weekend.
Okay.
Well, I'm
all calm down.
no. It's the summer. All of our weekends are booked. I'm in New York next weekend. No, but
And weekends are not good because that's when people visit the zoo.
yeah, and weekdays
And
are
they
not
need
good
the
because
Zoomobile.
people work.
So it's not.
I know that's a foreign concept, but
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's not happening.
Okay, so it's going to be from 2 to 7.
yeah, really.
Or
6 a.m.
3 to 7. I'm
3 to
sorry.
7. Yeah. No, I think it's a great idea if we could do it in September or October.
Yeah,
It's
make it happen.
still open.
We're going to figure this out.
I just never try to plan anything, big events during the summer because people's weekends are booked.
Yeah.
And you're like, unless it's a wedding, that's a big event worth planning. But everything else, you're like, I don't want to bug people on their weekends unless we're making plans together.
We're going to figure this out. This is a great idea.
It's a brilliant idea. Whoever
All right.
came up with that, congrats to you. That's killer.
Tommy wants to know if there's anything the NHL could do to make you stop watching hockey. Adam and Steve.
Yeah.
Trade-
stop
trade-
watching hockey at all? Because
Yeah.
the NHL is a league. Hockey is a sport.
I got one.
You know? I'll never stop watching hockey.
I got one.
I might stop watching them.
Lockout again.
No.
Another player strike. Yeah, because then I
you'll be
physically
back.
stop watching hockey.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Beyond that, I think, yeah, I mean, I think it would just be, I mean, NHL fans are pretty tough because we know that the sport has limitless potential, yet doesn't live up to it ever. Because the playoffs are amazing. Those 2 months are incredible. The other 10 months of the year, we know that there's other things that we could be doing better, but the powers that be say nay to your fun. And I think that if that were to continue or they were to do anything to mess with the playoffs, then I'd be like, no.
Like, what? Cut it down around?
I don't know what they would have to do to the playoffs.
Which they would never do.
You mess with the playoffs, though. You mess with the playoffs in a bad way as to make it more or less exciting.
Add a shootout to the playoffs.
I still wouldn't stop watching, though.
Yeah. No, there would just
That's
be
a
something
tough
I'd be
one.
mad at.
That's a really tough one. To stop watching hockey.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
because
is it stop watching hockey
Instead
or the
hockey,
NHL?
but we can turn.
we'll
to
just
the
say NHL. We'll
yeah.
just say NHL.
makes
Because to
more
stop
sense.
watching hockey
Because
is
you can watch
dramatic.
any kind of hockey, right?
Make it, for hockey, it would be make it so that it's unrecognizable and not hockey anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop watching the NHL.
Be pretty tough.
Be pretty tough.
You're talking about an ingrained thing.
If another league came along that was better than the
I don't know if
NHL,
there- yeah.
then yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do that.
I don't know if there's any one thing they could
The
do.
thing is-
it would have to be a few things where I go, that's it.
I wonder, the only thing is, I'm not loyal to the NHL in the slightest because I feel like the NHL is not loyal to the fan. I think the NHL is loyal to the owners.
Shit.
I think, though, the one problem I would have is abandoning the Toronto Maple Leafs because I am loyal to them. That is as far as my loyalty goes to the NHL. I am a Toronto Maple Leafs fan through and through for the rest of my life. There is no team that I feel that much about in any other sport, in any other league, including this one, that I can't justify. It's not even justifiable. It's obnoxiously stupid that I like the Toronto Maple Leafs this much, considering they've given me absolutely nothing since I was about 13 years old. However, it would have to be something the Toronto Maple Leafs either done to them, or if the Toronto Maple Leafs changed their name.
And then we got a second team in Toronto.
We got a second team in
And
Toronto,
they
I would
were
still be a
so
Leafs
much
fan.
more lovable.
When the Leafs get good, you know how many people are going to run back to them like Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams in The Notebook? It was never over.
Our ship is coming in, okay?
One of these years.
Say one of these years.
One of these
He never
decades.
stopped writing.
Final question.
Yes.
Wolfie, I believe it is, on Reddit, wants to know, why are they called apartments if they're so close together?
That is a really good question.
Apartment?
I think it's because it's
Yes,
you get
fuck
a
you,
part.
Wolfie.
You get
That's
a part
the
of a
answer.
ment. Whatever the ment is, you get a part of it.
What is a ment?
I'm assuming a ment is a building. Apartment.
Would it be better if it was in a part peppermint?
And it was natural and organic and made in your sink.
I'm funny. I'm sorry.
You're coconut nutty. That's what I think you are.
Oh,
You're a coconut, Steve.
oh.
Anyways, that's the
If you
question
liked
of the
chocolate,
day.
that would work better because you'd be a cocoa.
Think about
nut.
it. Send us
Who doesn't like
answers.
chocolate?
If anybody knows why
You said-
apartments are called apartments, let us know. I'd like to know the answer.
God, it's good to be back.
Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Brought to you by Panago Pizza. Order at panago.com and stuff your face with deliciousness.